There are three do's and three don'ts that you need to do when you feel anxious. Run us through that, Britt, because I think it's crucially important. I think it's my starting point. Okay, I've got a few things about breath work that I want to add, but run through those do's and don'ts if you or when you feel anxious.
So the number one thing that will keep you stuck when you're anxious is this question. And this is a hot take for a therapist, but I stand by it. The number one question not to say to yourself when you're anxious is this: why am I anxious? Why am I anxious is going to keep you in a spiral, because what you're doing is training your brain to look for everything that's wrong. Well, am I anxious because I'm burnt out at work, or because my family is a mess, or because the world is burning down? Like, we don't want our brains to start scanning the scary files. And when you ask yourself, why am I anxious? That's exactly what happens. Now, it's not intentional. Logically, it's like, well, if I understand why I'm anxious, then I'll magically not be anxious. And it's just not true. That's not how our brains work. So the don't ask, why am I feeling anxious? Instead, ask, what are resources available to me right now? Not tomorrow, not after I get the day planner or the good shoes or whatever. What are my resources in this minute that might help me feel a little bit less bad? And that might be a person, it could be a place, it could be music. I say people, places, thoughts, or things. What people, places, thoughts, or things are available to me this second that I could utilize, because anxiety is often solved by action and it's almost never solved by thoughts. Like, we can't think our way out of anxiety. And so that's my first big, if nothing else from this episode, don't ask, why am I anxious? Do ask, what are my choices? Okay. The other thing with anxiety is the rhetoric that we use in our culture. Anxiety attacks, panic. We fight depression. We battle the scale. We battle addiction. The problem with these war metaphors is, if you think that you're being attacked by your own physiology, that's going to ram. Our brains don't distinguish between an outside threat and an inside threat. So if I think, oh my God, this thing that we call anxiety is attacking me, your brain is going to start deploying stress hormones to help you defend against the attack. And so my don't here is, don't assume your brain is out to get you. It's not. I hate anxiety. It feels awful. I've had it my whole life. I get it. But anxiety doesn't attack us. Anxiety is a signal that something needs our attention. Well, I don't understand why okay, well, we're not asking why, right? We're asking, what are three people, places, thoughts, or things available to you right now to help you dial it down? And then from that dialed down state, then why am I anxious? What's going on? What needs attention? Great. But why and what's going on, not helpful. Your brain is on your side.